for ya machima na ye ube ko bie pa anka asema anka meka kire ono pen campe
e levy we ya de pa
wo si hwan sika bebre epo kransuo togum wo kwadwa asante efie ha silent millionaires ai wo ofie ha se ya wo musika enkwa agro emfa homa no pay emfa homa birthday kura wudu birthday kura aduane kura me bi ni emfa homa darling boy yenko yanimu a
me fa be ba ku bi nkan wana
I said daily graphic abane yempon wa. Okay,
but story when so Kopek for can say me or say ya or say 10 peso fuel levy will burden consumers. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Kopek has voiced strong opposition to the proposed 10 peso levy on petroleum products, warning that it could create undue economic pressure on Ghanaians. You see levy big bow.
Jamadiana Ibrahim Ahmed Ibrahim Okana na. Because me titi fuel say Jamie link to sanitation no.
Yeah.
Now darling boy say watch a pump.
And say bem say from kakao na. Oh yeah.
Oh the darling boy say there what kind me bi.
Oh yeah.
Oh the darling boy say there what kind me bi. O kan so be send am one send am me.
Oh so say me send no ma na some send ade am.
Oh darling boy.
Me who say we be crowd or talk life e da honum say.
Any network na tija.
Fache me.
Any network na tija nti I am me men den
okay.
But Duncan wo ho.
But you since when your marker say story died and I mean so why? You hear what I'm saying? Before I read Daily Graphic, now see GRA shuts down claims of freezing Richard Amakwe's account. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority (GRA) has said it did not freeze bank account of Richard Ni Amakwe, the founder of Bills Microcredit Limited. Papa, I know your party kasi.
That number party na me expect o wase.
Oh, na say me go.
Pepie enye eya tapie. So unko pie bia enye birthday of the century.
Mate.
Wanya de kra.
Mate.
Na the darling boy kai say Ghana Revenue Authority for say. Womun freeze ya papa na account. Womun freeze ye.
Ephesians account Daily Graphic or Hanum say so on the front page of the Daily Graphic, Chief Justice photograph is there. It says Chief Justice request for petitions Otafu MP sues AG over CJ's removal. Also on the front page of the Daily Graphic, NIB smashes $350 million cocaine haul. That's NIB. National Bureau, okay, yeah, bank no, Republic Bank and Caribbean, okay, export total. Yeah.
Yo, I was for Daily Graphic, waba Chief Justice petition no, and they can sa from Russia Bejani, as you are buying or huni na yaka ewaha, and now what the special supplement by your aid. Fetal say nyame ya adoma moni tua holidays na ye kodie no aha ye ka agyanum kramofo ho ama ye di ye guchiriwia eti ho asem e wo ne anopay Daily Graphic mu na National Investigation Bureau for ene yesi cocaine ewurade nyankopon som 350 million US dollars. Darling boy, the emphasis here is US dollars. But darling boy, young kind of credit. Unim red. So unim red. One said the drugs. Yan she ya. A kwanya a dear mranti and ye mabawa ebe fasono. Pa. Say yet me enya 3,319.66 kilograms. Represented 3.3 tons. Ewo cocaine emu. I assume 350 million. Ewo yasase eswa. Na ensem ha. Dalebo se utie mu na ahwa se de se NIB operations no esi kwa ya. Eya cargo aye de nam tipa truck. Emu ena ya hyehye ewo ye chwomo pedu junction Cape Coast to kwemu. Ana air bankran. Enti asembisa ne se sa cocaine no se sa o de consignment no susuam pa se eye cocaine ena na eba me efri hene ena na eba number 1 na eba ame akohyepe akọ anase eba ame de akoma pharmaceutical company bi so onfa nye nroma yen anase eba na akolande e wo street nim amankrofo anom ehu o
no correct. And send how can we know ma ensembisa bebre ba ensembisa bebre just I say man for to me nsem ano
of course
efri fa adan ye dua cocaine wo hanom say Ghana minim say bia ye dua
we ni enim
yeah
cocaine dey yenim
baby if you cry no normally ya chi cocaine betine bi a chi o mo pot o ni
but pot of
friend so no say nso de ya we ni ekoton ya asemo
ehu darling boy
omo defense bi su na ba be pie o ha na me say you da keko say ye
me nkwala adwene so ne say okay dey okay so e betima possible sa afare for couple na omo sisiri bom tabru bom no ya omo timi de fa consignment ati say
yeah
me bisa
of course o say omo timi say enye bia anya say ni nyina begum ba ko pe so betimi achine kakran no bia
okay but ebi so kra be hwe na the free pot ye pot major pot ni bi na bia ye de besna ko ba bi but say a free pot
yeah
na darling boy na ne emma mesene nko ba bi o na e ba be stay
enti efita kra de jon so na be du kekus police bom jina kwan mu be biro mehu
o
mehu
Erade mo yen. Darling boy see awie no no.
Yeah.
Ye dia ma menda sponsors na se.
Okay.
Eti ye dia se dem ma yen sponsors a wo mu tie de obon krata mo boso ba. Ka Farm Ghana Limited electronic appliances nyina adwesuo eye ho. Okwa ne krabata bia obeye ogudu pa promo ne rane ebe ende nyame adom adwada kwana kokwaje odi ansa e na asanja obi ane ansa amfa days ni bi anka ho nti kwai. Okwa Ka Farm adwesuo bi obeye ogud 050 0000 105 and 05000000106. KKP Pro Roofing the Euro tiles and stone coated roofing aba. E madam tena ye nyunyu kama. E wo KKP project so bi adentan do do akwan mu amra hia ho Kumase and afa do bro 0244912100 0244912100 and 0242662004. Telecel say connecting energies about data the other browser or they call businesses dey nyina and telecel cash wo ho etibomodien na wo ne telecel ni kita ho tontina 74 T74 immune booster eboa ma mogya munyare wa titie ni nyina ye bo ho bra yie de pedua soja fo be boa mo akwa de yare so nkonim 0246073498 0246073498 and 0501628931 yedamwase
yes we da see the bon krata ni 70 video akotene the various news online portals and if you Kokrokoo you media kwesi aboaji media ho chiame anope
Peace FM 104.3
and Josephine Opoku Akoto aka Auntie Rose and Rosina ya afwawa Rose and ewa woda ema woda stronko Sansona, it's your birthday Mr. Samuel Amwa of Safo of Kids Haven Montzizori. It's from your entire
Welcome to the dawn. You have just accessed the beautiful experience.
Kokrokoo jumedie so sabe no so ba pass my dio no ensia na etie for me sure say eye asemba ko a da pass so eye Chief Justice ebinadei na eye krata bi fi o mampanyi aso eye baaye asem ni nyina ne se o mampanyi ema Ghana fo nyina ya te se Ghana fo ade shebe miensa bi petition bi om de krata bi ababa dan na senia ye constitution ni chere no ye mra pon kase ni chere no na chese se wodane edema a Council of State 50 time abeto dwase oku odi ade akwa Council of State no almost so senior constitution ni chere no mbedi su no maye ne sese o moye no aba be ye nkomodie bebri enra ye nyanentie se Chief Justice enso kasa atro ye krata tintin se da bi o mampanyi ni awoye enye sa enetie ansa na wode kwadu you de ma ye Council of State nke so mam hu mi kwadu bofo enu achikura no so no de be ni kwadu na wo mode bom nke se o mam hu ansa na se wode ba akoma ye Council of State wode akoma om ye nyane ntie nso se Ghana fo ade hye bi nso court wo sa asem kuru ya ho anope ye pese edi ho nkomo ye te ase ye former member of parliament for Tamale Central honorable Yunus Afuseni Emrenimni na yenko ahoma no so na yenjinchirichirim no bi won mo aye ni ntiminti ase honorable yara ase mo akwa baba Kokrokoo jumedie so
kuchaba jumedie so na komtete
boko honorable na so okay so yakosui so far say bia way of initial comment beto dwa krata say okay well petitions began for oma petition omanpanyi CJ omanpanyi subsequently or refer at the command council of state nia CJ so eka about say there be enya sa na say kono wo mu a wo mo de court ne ka ho nyina no initial comment be say honorable.
Oh, first of all, my check my own down say what from some chairman was so. Now the echo so a part of the discussions ever consolidating and democracy. Ever ma obian what is the way the what is the way forward in matters of this nature? A democratic exercise. And so say the Chief Justice is acting this way, and Bimu actors are because some people are afraid of the consequences of the removal of Chief Justice, and many things will be said.
So, Chief Justice Enra, yen shasien fi onon honum saying, Nasema walking say onon entiase Article 146, any per the case of Frank Ejechum versus Attorney General. Officer before Omanpanyin called the petition Krabema Council of State, at least SOTA the response for that matter. Or Chese Womunfa Omomo ni accusers Omo de petition akwetiano. Dia asem no omo kano no so fa no response emfamra. Ansana Omanpanyin kra dia ma Council of State. Emra no wonti ase ne se ne sese kono sa na ti ana.
Frank Aje Chum, any the Attorney General and Akute, that bar no all kind leave judgment no.
Yeah.
Now I've read the leave judgment. Now anywhere in that judgment, the bar say before the determination of the prima facie case, the respondent should be given an opportunity to state her points. It's not there in the judgment.
Which means Nyomanpanyi ya no hu ni se ne kwanso ano no.
Omanpanyi the petition so what let's unpack them can idea there I see so that we all understand. Say ko say what is uti peace of family. No be a bo kwedu against you. We are alleged adebi against you. Ade ama o
Mpenyufo.
Mpenyufo. First of all, mpenyufo ba hwe asem no. Se asem no en hunye doa enye se omo se enya no kro intimacy a omo frɛ ana omo frɛ
yeah
omo frɛ omo do omo kasa omo kasa sa asem no and here say your friend because intimacy. That's what is meant by prima facie. That is all that is meant by prima facie. That the who asem noa. Prima facie is Latin. Who asem noa on the face of the accusations no. Does it need further investigation? On the face. So it doesn't need a respondent. A nil respondent. A respondent is like trial, no, I see. But yeah, no. That's a respondent. Say even less liken it to criminal trial. The prosecution, no, every in the case, and now defendant, no, a man say, or accused person, no, a man say, the prosecution has not been able to establish the ingredients of the offense against him. Against him. Over here an application to for submission of no case. And at the end, case we are against him. No. The thing is, who here prosecution case and raise prima facie case. Simply put, say we for prosecution has some guan. Wouldn't even convict one. That's just an equivalent, even though not direct equivalent, but just look at it that way. Say, Obiago Kwedu against you. Well, something in a uhwe asem no a ayetu ehia se wobeya no. So that prima facie is not a trial. It's not a trial. Say, oh, no, and then you have the benefits of weighing the two. And I got trial. In fact, it just to say that, well, may I submit affidavit evidence. Obia Bokwedo against me. What can I say? Me yanu na committee no adi assembly yen nyina yede to oja no e determine whether one is guilty or not. And yes sir, and Andrew ho.
It means that a coin beba obenya sa akwanya na obeyi ho no.
You anu.
Okay.
Or because office no surunku soon. That is why the president cannot take a decision on whether a prima facie case has been determined. He has to do that in consultation with the Council of State. And Council of State, no one Gina in Ghana. They are supposed to be a non-partisan, higher body with experience who will use non-partisan means to serve the interests of the state. That's why the Constitution doesn't say refer to Parliament. Because a co-parliament, it becomes partisan. That's why the Constitution said refer to the Council of State. So let me roll back and tell you the removal of justices of the Superior Court of Judicial in other jurisdictions. Now, in 1969, Constituent Assembly, no, I did the Omutroya, 1968-69, I did the Omutroya. Almost in the United Kingdom, a removal of a judge is done by an address to Parliament. And Parliament will be debated and remove or not remove the judge. In the United States, a removal of a judge is on the basis of impeachment. Then I say, what President Trump?
Yeah.
Judge or reversing no order no for deportation. Almost anything. Yeah, impeachment. And that's the work of Congress. But 1969, our Constituent Assembly say, yes, dear, it should be based on a petition and the subsequent establishment of a judicial tribunal. In the 1969 Constitution, no committee, no, your friend, no judicial tribunal. And that practice has continued to today. I did agree in 1969 with that practice. Subsequent constitutions have seen the wisdom. Say it should be by a petition and the subsequent establishment of a committee in the 1969 was called Judicial Tribunal. Now, the second thing is, so we have Article 146 there is nowhere that there is prima facie evidence. There's nowhere that you can find prima facie evidence. So, on the literal interpretation of Article 146, the President would have just will send it, and then the Council of State will establish a committee. That's a literal interpretation, because nowhere in Article 1466 for the removal of a Chief Justice will you find the prima facie. But where Article 146 and Kasa Ediba on the removal of Superior Court of Judicature, judges of the Superior Court of Judicature, and chairman of the Regional Tribunal, there's a requirement that the Chief Justice, Oman Penin, Eji letter, Eji petitioner on the removal of a Superior Court of Judicature, justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, over refer a petition to the CJ, the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice will establish a prima facie before a committee will be established.
So, Honono, I don't think 146 no, and yes, sir, because that one before the committee will be set up, no, then a prima facie case has been established. Maybe honorable.
Aye.
But in the case of 146, no, 1466, and no, sir.
Good. Anti na the decided cases SC by parity of reasoning. You must read into Article 1466 the requirement of the establishment of prima facie. Because Chief Justice, no, first of all, or a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature. Sir?
Sure.
Yes. And every removal of a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature requires the establishment of a prima facie. In the Constitution Review Committee, no, in their recommendation, it is necessary to read into Article 1466 the requirement of the establishment of a prima facie. But almost say, if an opportunity is given for a relook at the Constitution now, the requirement of prima facie and show to cure the lacuna and not read through to get cured. So Obia Judge said there must be the establishment of a prima facie. Now, okay, Kokrokoo Adza case, no, okay.
Mm-hmm.
A day before Nana Akufo-Addo left office, or say on the case that Kokrokoo Adza Abotia, the allegation the Abotia Chief Justice, no, had no merit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we do not know even whether the President Nana Akufo-Addo had transmitted the petition to a Council of State to establish whether or not there was a prima facie. So that is why when the President did that, it appeared to me that the President was arrogating to himself. Nana Akufo-Addo was arrogating to himself the power to determine whether the matter has a prima facie. But the President cannot do that on two principles. Two. One, independence of the judiciary. The judiciary is an independent arm of government. Two, principle of separation of powers. The President cannot be seen to be acting as executive on matters that affects the judiciary. It must be through the Council of State. So, that is why thinkers BC, it is exclusively the right of the Council of State to determine whether or not there's a prima facie case. But Frank Ajay Chum and the Attorney General Bright Kote, that the determination of the prima facie must be done by the President acting in consultation with the Council of State. What that means, maybe in subsequent decisions, will be explained further.
Okay, so let me ask, probably maybe this will be the last question. But Mamin Kain, Chief Justice, Kratai or Troy, for the benefit, teach you, Abia, Metiefua, Wamu, and Kain, Almonti. I read some portions that I think is very crucial, essential for Yankomo Yayedi. So I'm reading. It says, as you are aware, when a petition for removal of a Superior Court judge under Article 1461 is forwarded to the Chief Justice, the first requirement of due process is for the Chief Justice to bring the petition to the attention of the accused judge and to obtain their response to the petition. This is the right afforded every citizen in justice delivery, and it is provided for in the Article 146 procedures. In my time as Chief Justice, I've handled 5 such petitions for removal of Superior Court judges, and heard from them before determining whether a prima facie case has been made against them to merit the setting up of the investigative committee provided for under Article 1464. It is the combination of the evidence in the petition and the response of the judge that guides the Chief Justice to determine, as a sole inquirer under Article 1463, whether a prima facie case has been established against the judge to merit the setting up of the investigative committee of 3 justices and 2 eminent citizens to conduct a hearing of the complaint against the judge pursuant to Article 1464. Respectfully, in the case of the Chief Justice, please allow me to submit that it is the combination of the evidence in the petition and the response of the Chief Justice that provides the material for consultation between His Excellency, the President, and eminent members of the Council of State under Article 1466. These 2 sources serve to guide whether a prima facie case has been established, such that a committee of inquiry should be set up under Article 1467 to inquire into whether the Chief Justice may be removed from office. This is the direction of the Supreme Court in the case of A.J. Chum versus Attorney General and Akwete. So it seems that Senior Chief Justice teach you Frank A.J. Chum versus Attorney General and Akwete no. And yes, Honorable Okon.
Oh no, a reported case. A reported case.
Sure.
So a kind of reported case. No, it's a reported case. The second thing is that the Chief Justice or refer you to adhere the onankasa as Justice of the as Chief Justice in connection with the petitions for the removal of justices of the Superior Court. Onu, that was her own administrative way, not legal way, administrative way of establishing a prima facie. After all, the Constitution says that on establishing prima facie in Article 1463, but the Constitution did not show her how to go about establishing the prima facie. And Chirano. Ono ankasa a building a practice, a convention around Article 1463. It's a convention. And yet a law. There's no law like that. It's a convention, it's a practice. So, with the greatest respect to the Chief Justice, a convention cannot displace the strict requirements of the law. It cannot.
Yeah.
A convention. Or not, and see, President NRFA petition to Chief Justice in Article 1463. Simple. For the Chief Justice to determine whether there is a prima facie case. Chief Justice say, for her to go about doing that, no, this is how she did it. This is how she did it. How she did it doesn't become the law. With the greatest respect to, doesn't become the law. It becomes a practice. Unless, of course, Chief Justice Bakachire say, oh, but Mr. President, you have ignored this provision of the law in this part of the Constitution concerning the removal of a Chief Justice. But she cannot use her practice to supplant the strict requirements of the law, with the greatest difference to the Chief Justice.
Honorable, so we crown me so Ghana for being so the semi Supreme Court and old Tafo member of Parliament and another MP almost yes who said Nioman Penny and Abia and yes and In fact, me who say third your sorry kranso yes omunyai na mranso nye na adwuma se ne siti ani ne ka ho no eto say
like I said, conversation in surrounding on deepening the democracy and creating more precedents on the way and procedure to remove a chief justice. I can see say case they are required to know. The justices have also said that the detailed regulations should be enacted to guide Article 146, the implementation of Article 146 itself. Detailed regulations, but so clearly the idea all is towards a conversation on how to go about invoking Article 146 for the removal of justices of the Superior Court of Judicature and the removal of the Chief Justice. But the truth says the President has acted constitutionally or petition at the core Council of State acting in President acting in consultation with the Council of State will determine whether or not there's a prima facie. Say prima facie how they go about it, I'm not even prepared to inquire. How the Council of State will go about determining whether a prima facie case has been made, I'm not even prepared to inquire. Because there will be their own administrative procedure. That is not the law. This is how they think, in fairness, they can establish the prima facie. If they establish that there is a prima facie case, the President will set up a committee of 2 justices of the Superior Court of Judicature, one of whom will be the chairperson of the committee, and 3 persons who will be non-lawyers, non-members of the Council of State, non-members of Parliament. If immediately the committee is set up, the Council of State ever advises the President to suspend the Chief Justice, and the President will sign a warrant suspending the Chief Justice.
Okay. So
Article 14610 will only trigger on the advice of the Council of State. Now, my conclusion, Mr. Sumi conclusion is that we are bringing these matters to the open. Why are we doing that to ourselves? Because it may well happen that the Council of State will come to the determination, say, petitions because the justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, including the Chief Justice, can only be removed on 3 stated grounds. 3 stated misconduct or misbehavior, on grounds of incompetence, and on grounds of infirmity of mind and body. And even if it is infirmity of mind, there will be a further requirement for the establishment of a medical tribunal to look into the psychological or mental state of the Chief Justice. So it's a strict requirement. It's not everything that ultimately the Chief Justice or a Justice of the Superior Court ever see. Are the matters contained in the petitions? Are they alleging wrongful conduct, wrongful behavior? Inconsistent with the office holder, the Chief Justice? Are they alleging that the Chief Justice has been so incompetent in her role as Chief Justice? Are they alleging that there's infirmity of mind or body of the Chief Justice, such that it will impede her continuous stay in office as Chief Justice? So these are the criteria that will be used to assess whether petitions disclose I did the lawyer's friend any reasonable course of action.
Okay. Honorable. Yeah, that's Yanape, Yamin Shapa.
And that's it.
All right, that's Honorable Yunus Husseini, former member of Parliament for Tamale Central and a legal practitioner. Anope, Kokrokoo Jumedie, so well. Some dosu. Eba.
Peace FM 104.3. Who to me,